Welcome to WNL Sports Weekly. I'm Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with riding coach Gordon Reistrup, men's golf captain Wilson Anthony, and women's lacrosse captain Maddie McKaig. But first, a quick look back at the weekend in Washington and Lee athletics. Baseball split a home doubleheader with defending ODAC champion Randolph-Macon, dropping the first game 4-3, but bouncing back to win the nightcap 9-5. Women's lacrosse scored a 16-5 road win over Virginia Wesleyan, while the men's lacrosse team defeated Randolph 21-2. The men's and women's track and field teams each posted 3-1 records at Christopher Newport's Commonwealth Duels, and men's and women's tennis both dropped matches on the road against Carnegie Mellon, with the women falling 5-4 to the 5th-ranked Tartans and the men losing 6-3 to number 13 CMU. I'm joined now by riding coach Gordon Reistrup. Gordon, welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
If you would give us a quick review of the Washington and Lee season so far.
Certainly. We've had a pretty good season this year. We have a very young team. About half of the squad was freshmen this year. And we were top three at a third of the horse shows this season, which was pretty solid. We were actually 4th at UVA, the final show, due to a reschedule because of Fed break weather. And we were 4th with a short team there. So we finished up 6th for the season by 1 point. Randolph bested us by a point at that last horse show. Again, Tamara Morse, our senior captain, was the Cacchione Cup winner for the 2nd year in a row. She'll go directly to nationals, which is quite an amazing feat given that she was reserve champion 2 years ago. So she's been top 2 for the last 3 years in that.
You talk about Tamara winning the Cacchione Cup for the 2nd straight year. Obviously, you've got a lot of other key contributors on your roster, but what has Tamara meant to the program throughout her career? Absolutely.
We have a lot of solid riders throughout all of the levels, especially with the new blood coming on. Tamara has been basically the epitome of the scholar-athlete ideal for which we strive here at Washington and Lee. She is a winner in the classroom as well as on the field. She's, of course, been the ODAC scholar-athlete at equestrian championships the last 2 seasons. And we're looking to have another dominant performance this Friday at championships. She is a great leader as well as contributing some 40% of our points earned this year for our team totals.
How does the rest of the ODAC stack up this spring as you get set for the conference championship?
Well, in our ODAC conference, it can be anybody's day. Obviously, very strong across the board. With the big riding schools like Sweetbriar and Hollins. Hollins is very deep, as is Sweetbriar, in horses and riders. I think we have 4 experienced riders on experienced horses, and I think we have a good shot, as always.
What are your expectations for the Generals down in Lynchburg on Friday?
I hope they ride well and show what they've learned throughout the season and put it on the field and fight for the win.
Gordon, thanks for joining us. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined now by Wilson Anthony, senior golf captain from Fordyce, Arkansas. Wilson, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
What's your experience been like as a captain for the WNL golf team during what's been a year of transition for the program?
You know, it's been great. I've had a lot of fun getting to meet the 2 new coaches, and it means a lot that the school is really investing more into our golf program, hiring a full-time golf coach, a full-time assistant coach, and it's been good to kind of pick their brain and see what their ideas are and what their aspirations are for our program. And I really think with these 2 new coaches coming forward that we're going to have a really great future.
How pleased have you been with the team's play throughout the season, including your own individual performances?
Well, I think my play has kind of mirrored the kind of success and failures of the team, because both myself and the team have been very, very inconsistent this year. I mean, we'll have tournaments where we put together one great round and then have one terrible round. And that's just kind of how I've been from tournament to tournament, where I'll have a really good tournament and then one where just a really bad tournament. And I'd like to see us be able to put together 2 and hopefully 3 rounds together in the ODAC championship to have a good finish.
The conference championship is back at Bay Creek for the 3rd straight season. Give us the scouting report on that course.
Well, Bay Creek is a course where you can't afford to get off to a bad start. You have to execute right out of the gate. The first 4 holes are some of the toughest on the course, and if you aren't hitting good shots on those holes, you're going to make a couple big numbers. And I was very guilty of doing that last year, and other than that, the course plays very fair. There's some very tough holes out there, but of course it is a very fair golf course. And if the wind starts blowing really hard, then it can play 3 to 4 strokes harder.
Before you go to Cape Charles, you head down to Salem for Roanoke Spring Invitational. How beneficial will it be to the team to have that additional competition ahead of the ODAC Championship?
I think it's great that we're having this tournament right before the ODAC Championships, because I never like to have a 2 to 3 week layoff before a big tournament, and especially with how young our team is right now, we can always use the extra reps, extra competition, because no matter what we do in practice, we can't really replicate just the feeling you have in the middle of a tournament, and that's going to really help us in the ODACs.
Wilson, thanks for being here. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me.
I'm joined now by Maddie McKaig, senior lacrosse captain from Annapolis, Maryland. Maddie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You've scored 13 goals over the Generals' last 5 games. You're now second on the team with 23 points. What's enabled you to increase your offensive production over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I was actually taking probably the same amount of shots in the first half of the season. They just weren't going in. So it's just been a focus on decision making, when to go, when maybe to pull out, and then getting out to practice a couple of days a week early and just working on my finishing.
WNL has already taken on 5 ranked opponents. You visit defending national champion Gettysburg right at the end of the regular season. How enjoyable is it to play some of the top competition in the country?
It's really enjoyable. Personally, I have a couple friends on all those teams. It's always great competition. They're usually really close games, and it always forces us as a team to rise to the occasion and play our best, and that's when I think playing a team sport is the most fun.
What's the most important lesson that you've learned from playing a Division III sport?
I have to say just balancing priorities and time management. Playing a sport when you're in season, it always takes out at least 3 hours of your day, so just working around that, making sure you get all your work done. It's been a challenge, but definitely getting better at it.
After the exam break, you take on Lynchburg and Guilford back-to-back, 2 of your biggest ODAC games of the season. How important will it be for the Generals to come out sharp after that long layoff?
It's going to be really important. Lynchburg is a great team, and it's an especially hard time for us coming out of exams. We're going to have to be focused and mentally sharp, and it'll probably determine who's going to be the #1 seed in the ODAC, which also determines who gets to play at home during the tournament, which is always good to be at home.
Maddie, thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
For WNL Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.